Welcome back friends to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to look into the topic that is the Jain literature. Okay, in the previous literature where I left over, there we have completed Buddhist literature. Okay, and today as we are going to proceed to the Jain literature, so we must have some differences, okay, or some similarity if there's any. Okay, so if we go through the similarity portion, then we will find similarity in the structure. Okay, so here structure means actually the way the text has been divided or subcategorized. Okay, if we have seen in the Buddhist literature, we found their texts were actually subcategorized under canonical and non-canonical. Okay, so in this two portion, the Buddhist literature was subcategorized. This was actually dealing with the religious texts. Okay, religious. Sorry, it's going down. Okay, it was dealing with this, and non-canonical it was dealing apart from that. Okay, so in the similar way, if we go through Jain literature, we will find that Jain literature too has been subcategorized into canonical and non-canonical. Okay, as you move ahead, means in the very beginning of the passage of this Jain literature topic, you will find that I'm specifically talking about the book which has been written by Dr. Upinder Singh. That's the history of ancient and early medieval India. Okay, so in that book you will find the very starting in the very beginning this term Siddhanta and Agam. Okay, actually this Siddhanta and Agam means that's the sacred book of Jain. Okay, in Jainism they call the sacred book Siddhanta or Agam collectively. Okay, means all those Jain texts which are coming together, they are named as Siddhanta and Agam. As we see the sacred book of Christians, Bible. If we go through this Muslims, then we find Quran, and if we go through this uh, Hinduism, then we find Ramayana, Gita, then Mahabharata. These all are the sacred texts. Okay, so Gita has been given much more importance there. Okay, so now we are coming to our topic, that is the Jain literature. So we are familiar with this term now, Siddhanta and Agam. Now, as we move ahead, so we would love to know that what was the language and what was the script. Okay, so if we talk about the language, specifically the earliest text of Jain literature, it consists of Ardha Magadhi, and this Ardha Magadhi, here you can see this Ardha Magadhi, this it is actually a dialect. It is actually a dialect, and specifically it is an eastern dialect. Eastern dialect of what? Of Prakrit. Okay, so it is the eastern dialect of Prakrit, who that is the Ardh Magadhi, and this language has been used in the earliest text of this Jain literature. Okay, sorry, I just it was coming out with this. Okay, so in Jain literature, now we are moving further and further. If we move, then we will see that there were two sections of the school here, that's the Sutamba and Digamba. We are quite familiar, and I hope you all are knowing the reason how this development took place. Okay, if not, then I would be coming on that topic also, but in the next lecture, not here, because we are specifically bound to this topic, that is the Jain literature. Okay, so you are familiar with these two terms, these two schools, that is the Sutamba and Digamba. So as per Svetamba tradition, or as per Svetamba canon, there include 12 Angas, 12 Upangas, then 10 Prakinas, then we see 6 Cheda Sutra, then we see 4 Mula Sutra. You can see here, this is the 12 Angas, 12 Upangas, then 10 here. Prakinas, then 6 Cheda, then 4 Mula Sutra. Apart from that, also we are having some of the text which has been mentioned in the Jain literature. Okay, some of them I have mentioned here. That is the Nandi Sutra. This is the Nandi Sutra. Then we see Anugodra. Okay, this also we see Anugodra. But if we find the another side, that is the Digamba, they don't give that importance to such text which Shwetamba has given the importance. Okay, that's why they have specifically mentioned about the Shwetamba canon. Okay, but there is a contradiction or there is something overlapping among the two texts. Okay, if you go to the Digambar school, then yeah, if I am not going wrong, let me recall. Yeah, in Digambar school, this Anga, okay, let me come to the next slide. See, this Anga, see, yeah, this Anga has been given the prime importance. Apart from that, Digambar have accepted its doctrine. Okay, they have accepted its doctrine, the doctrine which is given in Angas. Okay, and there is a text which have been clubbed together, and that clubbed together text has been named Angavyas. Here it is the Angavyas. Okay, here it is. And here we see lots of things are corresponding to the Shwetamba text. Means something is overlapping, something is means going cross cutting things. Something seem to be quite common in both of them. Okay, as per the doctrines. Okay, so now we would also like to know that the timeline of this text, okay, of the Jain literature. So if we talk about the timeline, then here we find the references from 4th or 5th century BC. Okay, century BC. Okay, this is the it is the earliest information we are getting in the Jain text. Okay, but this keeps on continuing. This keeps on continuing till I think it's 5th or 6th century CE. Okay, till here things have been continued in the Jain literature. So here we can say that at this particular point of time, the text was a living. It was a living document. We can say it was a living document because if you notice here, then many changes have taken place within this time period. There were several things, means modified, added, deleted, corrected. Okay, so see, in literary sources it's very easy, specifically if you are talking about the manuscript or the written information on a piece of paper or a piece of leaf, then very easily you could find it out. Means it's not quite easy to find it out, but you need to be very thorough through those terms, those you can say tones, then those content or the context in which it was written. So if there is any of the change, then a highly learned scholar could easily identify that here something has been modified or something has been eliminated or something has been added on. Okay, so this is not an easy task. Okay, for it can only be done by the highly learned scholar who have gone through means quite a depth knowledge. Okay, so it's not any, but if you go through the rock inscriptions or copper plate inscriptions, or inscription on the pedestal or inscription on the temple wall, so if there is any changes, then anyone could easily identify the, yeah, it has been overwritten and such a such thing has been changed or this has been means corrected somewhere. So but in term of literary sources, specifically if I am talking about, if the things are written on the palm leaf or you can say this bamboo leaf, then it's very not difficult, but we could find out. But we need to have that means uh, 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 technique to catch it out, the lag, or you can say that something is glitching there. Okay, so we can say that. Okay, now so I got it into so details there. It was not mentioned here. Okay, but I just got in the flow. So I apologize for taking your time. So now moving to our topic. Now we will be looking at this, the council held. Okay, in this portion, in this particular topic, there is also the mention of council. They have mentioned only two councils. Okay, one council which was held in at Patliputra, the council which was held at Patliputra here, as per the Swetambar tradition, the Anga was compiled here. Okay, the Anga was compiled here. Only Anga was compiled. Okay, don't be confused that all the Jain texts were compiled here. Okay, no, it's not so that. Rest of the canon has been compiled at Vallavi, and this council took place in Gujarat. In Gujarat, specifically Vallavi, and this was been presided over by Devaratti, a person, a scholar named Devaratti. Yeah, Devaratti K. Sharma Sarmana. Okay, K. Sharman Sarmana. And if you see the timeline, then it talks about the 5th or the 6th century. C, it's actually C, 5th or 6th century C. Okay, not go into the BC. Okay, so place is already known to you, Vallavi. Then you came to know that entire canon was means supposed to be. It's supposed to be means compilation has taken place, and this all we are talking according to the Shvetamba, not the Digamba. In this section, they have not mentioned anything about the what Digamba thinks of, what are their means point of view on this council of whichever has been held. Okay, they have not mentioned it. Okay, now we are coming to the non-canonical. Okay, so in non-canonical, you will find there that there is no one particular language used. Okay, so partially you will find that Prakrit dialect has been used. Say partly. Okay, so Prakrit, okay, but especially you would see that Maharashtri, okay, Maharashtri has been used several of the time, okay, and hardly we could see in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is also there, but there's a mix-up. You can say mix-up. Partly Sanskrit means along with Sanskrit they were using another language too, like you can say Prakrit and Sanskrit. You can say Maharashtri and Sanskrit, Prakrit and Maharashtri. Like this, they were using it, okay. So moving some to see some of the text. Now, before we move ahead, we should also know that here, if you talk about the timeline of this non-canonical Jain work, so these all languages which we have talked right now, that is the Persian dialect, that is the Prakrit, then we talked about the Maharashtri, then we talked about the Sanskrit, but there also you should know that there is a Kannada. Okay, this also in this also Jain text has been written. Okay, has been written, but in this portion or in this topic means the writer or the author has not mentioned anything. It has said that, or she mentioned that we will be looking in the further section or in the further chapter. She actually mentioned that she is going to deal about it in the upcoming chapters in the book. Okay, so in Kannada they have not mentioned here at this point of time. Okay, but in Kannada also there are several work of Jain. Okay, so moving ahead, yeah, I was talking about the timeline. So it was the early century era. Okay, it was the early century era. Now coming to the next portion. So there we have seen that what was the language, or what was the timeline when this non-canonical Jain works means came into the picture. So now we are going to look some of the text, and some of the text of this non-canonical work, and this was actually the commentary on canonical work. Okay, see, under non-canonical work, what they are writing, they are writing the commentaries on canonical work. They are writing the commentaries on the non-canon, sorry, canonical work, and some of the commentary which has been written here is Niryuktis. Okay, Niryuktis. Then Vyasa, then you see Churnis, okay, and these all are written in the Maharashtrian Prakrit. These all text, that is the Niryuktis, Vyas, and Churnis, they are written in Maharashtri and Prakrit. So don't be confused. Let me change the color to the yellowish. Yeah. So here you see Prakrit and Maharashtri. Okay. Now moving ahead, we will also be looking at some of the texts which were written in the Sanskrit. Okay. Sanskrit. Okay. That was the Tikas, Vrittis, then Avachurna. Tikas, Vritti, and Avachunris. Okay. Avachunris. This were written in the Sanskrit, and if we talk about the time period of their means composition, then we could find it is the early medieval text, early medieval Jain literature. Okay. Now, once you are done there, then in the upcoming passage, you will find the term this charitas. Okay, actually, this charita has been referred by the Swetamba. Okay, this charita actually means the Jain Puranas. So you shouldn't be surprised that in Jain also they have a Puran and a Mahapuran. Okay, Mahapuran has been written by Jain saint, and one was there Gunagodra, it is the work of 9th century. Okay, so I will come later on, but coming to here, what was the content? What was the things mentioned in Jain Puran? If we talk about the Jain Purans, then there we see the sacred biography of all the 24 Jain saints. That is the Tirthankar. Okay, so there was the complete life journey or what how they led their life, what was their means, so what are the things they gave for Jainism, how they means impacted, or what are the things they added to Jainism, how they progresses. So these all things mean what was the lifestyle, culture, means everything would be coming there. Okay, in Jain Puran. But specifically, if anyone is asking you in the question what Jain Puran consists or what Jain Puran writes about or what is written about it, so we are going to specifically say that is the Hygo, sorry, Hygographics. Yeah, Hygographics is also the term used, but we mostly use the sacred biography. Okay, so we could say that there is a mention of sacred biography of the Tirthankaras of all the Jains, and the one of the very prominent one we know that is the first Jain Tirthankara was Rishabh. Okay, Rishabh. Okay, so his biography is written in Adi Puran. Okay, in this you will find the biography of this first Jain saint, that is the first Jain Tirthankara Rishabh, and he is also known as Adinath. Okay, Adinath. Okay, don't say this hello hello. It's not. Then as you move further, then you will find this Harivamsha Purana. Okay, this Harivamsha Purana is very very important. You must be having this in your knowledge. Actually, this is the Jain version of Mahabharata. Okay, it is the Jain version of Mahabharata, and here it mentioned the story of Krishna, Balram, then Kaurav, Pandava, then we also come to know about this Gurudron. So it's the reference, or you can say it's the Jain version of Mahabharata. Okay, so it was written later on. I think so because it's talking about the 8th century. Okay, so now coming to the further, we will be looking at the kathas, then didactic story, and there we get to know day-to-day life culture, how what was the custom, what was the tradition, how people were leading their lives, day-to-day life, and this all things we are going to get from the kathas, Jain kathas. Okay, and there we see that they have mentioned very precisely that what would the life cycle rituals they have mentioned about that. Then they have also interpreted the dreams. If someone is having a dream of suppose a snake is biting him or her, so what that snake means and what that biting means. If suppose he is seeing himself that he has been drawn in the sea into the sea, So what that means, what he signifies in his life, why he's drawing. So this drawing, okay, so this all signifies means what. So it has been mentioned in the interpretation of dream in that text or in that portion. Okay, now they have also mentioned about the administrative purposes, administrative, okay, administration, how king is going to rule. See, they have given a guidelines, or you can say a protocol which king need to, or you can say it's just a suggestion, you can say that in such a way they should learn. Okay, so I would like to stop it here itself. Okay, so I will be continuing further. Okay.